Hey guys, welcome back to the Crypto Explorer channel. Today we're diving into overnight finance, a full breakdown of the protocol, passive income opportunities, and they're basically designed to stablecoin holders. So if you are someone who is a bit averse to holding volatile tokens, even blue chip ones, this might be a protocol for you. So it's good that they're offering an option for people that are in crypto, but they are not that keen to play with market volatility and they rather stick with their stable assets. So this protocol, if you're that type of person, might be something that interests you. I'm going to cover everything you need to know, full on breakdown. The whole 3 steps for you to earn are super simple. You mint your plus tokens, you receive yield in your wallet. While you have those tokens, you might also apply them into several liquidity pools, so you can use your plus tokens in DeFi to maximize your yield. Of course, that's optional. As long as you hold them, you'll get a daily rebase paid directly to your wallet. And before getting started, let me just show you here that all their team members are doxxed. This is not something we see all that much in DeFi, understandably in some cases, because we just saw recently what in the US SEC did to Uniswap Labs. So yeah, I do understand why some teams do not get doxxed, but at the same time, if you take a quick look to their roadmap, we are here, right? So they launched recently their first volatile product with Rebase, which is ETH Plus. All the others in their portfolio are just rebased stablecoins. So this is something new, so let's see how it goes. But basically we're here, and the next step is off-chain yield with on-chain custody. So they're linking here to real-world assets generating revenue to DeFi. That itself is super bullish. Real-world assets narrative, it's one of the big narratives for this bull market. So yeah, that's also why they're being doxxed. So let's see, super curious to see what's going to happen with overnight finance in the near future. But right now, let's jump in on DeFi Llama. And guys, before we really get started, like, subscribe, join the Crypto Explorer community, because you know what we do here. It's basically breaking down these protocols, sharing with you passive income opportunities in DeFi. So DeFi, in my opinion, is definitely the next level. And if you want to know more about it and get acquainted with these protocols, well, join the community, subscribe to the channel, and without further yapping from me, let's get started and talk about overnight finance. Okay, so brief breakdown here from the info on DeFi Llama. 73 mil currently deposited in their TVL. We're sitting at the all-time high. OVN, their native token price, is $85. And you'll see more about what OVN can be used and how can you take advantage of that and also earn with it. But right now, I just want you to focus on this. So they launched, I believe it was in 2021. They did their initial pre-sale, and for the height of the bear market, for the whole of 2022 and 2023, they have been actually building their protocol. And you see here, the TVL chart doesn't lie. They went from all the way from 11K, 10K when they started, and they built it in the height of the bear market. So this goes to show that the protocol actually works. Their strategies have been proved in bear market conditions, which, if I gotta be fair, which I always try to be, you can really earn in stable market conditions. Usually there's going to be dips in bear markets, yes, but for the most part, volatility is out of the way. So there's going to be much less fees paid when playing with, for example, concentrated liquidity. You don't have to pay more fees to readjust ranges and etc. So bear markets, if you know what you're doing in DeFi, can be quite profitable. But regardless, they applied their strategies, they grew the TVL, so it shows that people are happy with the results. They're depositing more people are coming along, depositing more. Then we had like this dip here in 2023, and now boom, it went parabolic all the way up to a new all-time high, crushed the last one. So they're doing quite good. If you want to break all their tokens down, you can see there's overnight USD Plus, DAI Plus, USDT Plus, and ETH Plus. USDC Plus is lacking here, but if you go and see for yourself later on, I won't, just because I don't want to make too long of a video, but for the most part, I will show you that from this 73 million, 65 or around that, let's see in a second, but around that is deployed with USD plus. So here you have it, almost 66 million deposited with USD plus. So the remaining of their TVL is being spread through DAI plus, USDT plus, ETH plus, and also USDC plus, which I'm not sure why it's not showing here on DeFi Llama, but that's something that actually they do have. So let's jump into their app. All right, so when you log into their app, you'll see there's this big dashboard that allows you to swap, mint, redeem, or bridge. These are some things that you can do, yes, to get their tokens and start investing with the platform. But let me focus here on the ways that you can make money with Overnight. So there's going to be two specific ways that you can do that using their money markets, and for that you will be able to deposit with USD plus, USDC plus, ETH plus, USDT plus, or DAI plus. So how this works is that you'll deposit your stablecoins. Those will be your collateral, and each of these will have a specific strategy and specific chains in which they operate, as you will see in a second. And these strategies that they apply when you deposit your collateral, that is where their rebase yield is coming from. Okay, so they apply your money, so you don't have to do any research or anything, you leave it up to them, and they have like automated algorithms that will manage your positions. They will use your money to borrow money and start going into pools, into blue chip protocols like Uniswap, like Aave. So it's going to be a very much conservative way to earn, and that's why they also are sticking with stablecoins, and especially these big protocols like Aave, Uniswap, etc. They tend to pay less yields or lower yields just because there's a lot of volume, there's a lot of TVL, so they will generate less yields. And for that reason, they will go into different degrees of risk when they're deploying those strategies. And everything is broken down, as you'll see in a second. And I'm going to go in further depth and show you. But right now, let me jump in here quick onto OVN, because OVN, their native token, is the second way for earning with the platform. So and basically, you can hold it, you can buy and hold it and wait for price appreciation. The OVN token is limited to, I believe it's 1 million tokens, and that's it. There's not going to be one more in circulation. So if the protocol does good, OVN token price might even pump further over $85, which is the current price, I believe. At the same time, there's going to be liquidity pools that you can use your token. So you can already see how this is adding up. You deposit your collateral is being rebased or earning a rebase yield here on these money markets, and then since you deposited your collateral, you got the equivalent of your deposit in this same token. It can be any of these here in the list, and now you can see here all the chains they operate. So currently they're on Base. Base is super bullish right now. It's doing a lot of volume, and a lot of their TVL of Overnight is allocated specifically on Base, but they also have ARB, OP, so a lot of Ethereum layer 2s, ZK Sync, Linea, Blast. I'm connected with Binance, and although that's something you can do, I don't think they still have any pools or any strategies deployed with Binance and Polygon. So when you click here on the list, you see deprecated. So those are the pools or the blockchains that have been deprecated, and they're no longer are they applying their strategies there. Okay. So from here on this list, you will see all the pools that are available for users with their Plus tokens. There's these new ones, the latest ones on Blast, on the staking platform Truster, and they show you the APR. The juicier one is here on Beefy on Base chain. So it's going to be the OVN token and the USD Plus token. This is a pool that is definitely for the people who are super bullish on the protocol. I'm going to tell you why. So they have here 3,490% APY. A couple days ago, this was, I believe, over 5,000% APY. It's getting lower because more people are getting into it. And now there's more competition because in the end of the day, this is competition. Even providing liquidity pool, you have to split the fees in the pool for everyone who is providing liquidity there. And basically that's what's happening here on Beefy as well. So the difference between Beefy and the others is that all the pools here are set by APR, but Beefy is APY, and the difference is that APY auto compounds. So why does that matter? It does because when you deploy here, what is going to happen is that Beefy compounds those fees into your position. So you'll see your bag of OVN USD plus liquidity tokens, it will grow. That can be a really good thing if you're super bullish and the protocol is super bullish and it depreciates in price, but that can also have its downside, which is impermanent loss. Impermanent loss can wreck your gains just like that because you're constantly compounding, you never see any profits, and Beefy takes their cut, yes, out of your profits for their managing procedures and etc. That's what you need to know about these APYs here on Beefy. Okay, so it's a good thing for people that don't want to just address the maintenance of the liquidity pool themselves, and also that see very bullish momentum for overnight overall, and they want to grow their OVN/USD plus bag. All right, if you do want to manage it yourself, there's also an option here on Aerodrome. So this is over 1% a day with this same pair, but this will be a more hands-on approach. You have to just set your ranges, etc. But at the same time, you can claim fees at any time and you're gonna get the whole fees that are being generated. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. What sort of strategy do you want? And there's more even. You can see by the type of platform they are operating here, like there's Aerodrome, Beefy, Curve, PancakeSwap. There's a lot of reliable protocols, so they have solid partnerships on the move, and that shows a really good light upon the overnight protocol. But for the most part, you see all of these pairs here will have stablecoin pairs. So this is a protocol that started very much focused on bringing yields on stablecoins for stablecoin users. So there's even some super juicy ones. Let's order this by APR and see, because there's some super juicy APRs on stablecoin pairs that are not easily to find. And yeah, so take a look at this one on Blast, USD Plus and USDC Plus. This is bringing over 333% APR as of now. So triple digits APR in plenty of stablecoin pairs throughout blockchains. There's OP, there's Base, Blast. This is not playing with leverage. Again, these are just normal yields in normal pools. So plenty of options to choose from. And again, guys, this APR, if you decide to go on pools, this is obviously optional. But if you go on pools instead of having your tokens in your wallet, so you're just stacking up yield at this point. All right, so let's move on here to their money markets. But before, I just want to show you briefly how this dashboard works. And basically you can swap, you can mint/redeem. So mint redeem is when you want to, let's say you're done with overnight finance and you want to move elsewhere, you can also give back your USD plus tokens or other and get your collateral back and move on. The bridge is also super handy because, like we just saw, they are operating in different blockchains. So they have everything, every tool that you need in-house. And the bridge is powered by, I believe it's Squid Protocol and XLR. So two reliable protocols, which goes to show, again, on top of the protocol partnerships for liquidity pools, these guys have really good connections and they're collaborating with solid teams in DeFi. Now let's take a look at the money markets more specifically. So let's start here with USD Plus. Each different money market, we're not going to get into all of those. I'm going to show you USD Plus as an example and maybe one another. But they all work in the same way. The difference is that they will have different strategies. For example, USD Plus here on ARB. You can select any blockchain, by the way. And since USD Plus it's their flagship stablecoin, they have it deployed on every chain they are operating. So there's OP, there's ARB, and if you go and move along these different chains, you will see the APY can even differ. So there's going to be different TVLs applied into different ones, depending where users are allocating their collateral, of course. Base is super bullish. The daily APY, I believe it's the highest, it's 26%. Let's see here on Blast. Blast, it's even higher actually. So Blast is also showing up super strong. But I know there's plenty of options here on Base blockchain. So let's see what's happening, because there's a lot of volume on Base currently. So there's definitely options to be made with their portfolio. Here on the charts, you have the average APY, different time metrics from all the way to 1 week to all time. The same thing for TVL. So if you want to assess how things are going, you can play along with those charts and do your research here in the platform already. So there's going to be two main things here that you can check: portfolio and collateral. So when you deposit your stablecoins, that is your collateral, you and everyone else who deposited here on the platform. The safety score tells you how riskless or how riskless/risky is the current strategy. Here, since the safety score is very high, it's a score which doesn't cover all that much risk. But regardless, you can see how much is being allocated from the collateral. 24% is USDBC, and 75% is USDBC delta neutral. Delta neutral is their own strategies. We'll take a brief look into that later on in the video, but let's link this here with the portfolio. USDBC is 24%. If you notice, there's a compound USDBC here which corresponds totally to these percentages. So you can even click here and see on DBank what they're doing with their strategy, what's happening, all the transactions. Super transparent. They really show that they're not printing money out of thin air, and they're fully collateralized. At the same time, there's going to be the delta neutral strategies. So 75% of their collateral is being allocated there, and they specify it here. So there's going to be ETS Aave and Aerodrome, and ETS Moonwell and Aerodrome. So what's happening here is that with their delta neutral strategies, they will borrow some tokens. In this case, it's going to be Wrap ETH from Aave, and they are going to use that to set up a liquidity pool on Aerodrome, a USDC Wrap ETH liquidity pool. This is the pair they're swapping fees on Aerodrome, and they will do the same here for Moonwell. So they're gonna borrow some ETH on Moonwell and set up the same pool on Aerodrome. So this is how they're handling their risk here. And although the safety score is very high, things can go wrong in DeFi. Yes, that's why they only stick with super solid protocols such as Moonwell, Aave, Aerodrome, etc. So they rather do that and take the risk of a black swan event than going into more degen stuffs with new teams and docs teams, projects that are not really battle tested. There's not all that much trust in it. And all this plays a role into their safety score. This is just an example for USD Plus on Base, but you can check this out for any blockchain, for any money market. This is how the daily rebase is being generated. USDC Plus, for example, only has Base blockchain and Blast blockchain, but there's also your last payout that has been done with the yield generated through their strategies. In here, you see the collateral is also USDC, but it's allocated differently. So there's going to be different strategies depending on different markets. Let's jump on ETH Plus and see what ETH Plus offers. So ETH Plus is only available currently on ARB. So this is also a rebase token, building your ETH bag. So they're basically, I believe they're mostly staking ETH in Silo, and that's their current strategy. You get the idea. This is how money markets works. This is how you can check the collateral, how they're using the strategies on the portfolio, and how they're using different protocols to borrow, lend, set up liquidity pools, etc. Let's take a look at their delta neutral strategies as they state in their docs before we jump into the OVN token and its own ways to generate passive income. So regarding strategies, here on the docs, they state them all: stablecoin deposits into lending protocols, stable to stable liquidity pools, which is stable pairs on liquidity pools, ETSs, delta neutral strategies developed by Overnight. So that's the ones we are going to take a look at. If you want to check the docs and see the others in further detail, go ahead. I'm just not going to do that because I don't want to make it too long of a video, and this one is already quite long. I'm not sure how long it will be. I don't do these things scripted. Regarding their ETS, delta neutral exchange traded strategies, that's what ETS stands for, exchange traded strategies. What's going to happen is simply this: they're going to go, for example, on Aave, and they will leverage a collateralized debt position, such as they will, for example, come with their USD Plus token. So they're going to buy DAI with, let's say they start with $1,000, 500 is going to buy DAI. The other 500 is going to lend DAI on Aave. And the way they're leveraging this collateralized debt position is borrowing at the same time a volatile asset like wrap ETH on Aave. So you see that what they're doing here, they're lending, they're borrowing, so they're hedging against themselves, and then they will pair wrap ETH with, for example, DAI and provide liquidity on an automated market maker like, for example, Uni V3. This paragraph sums it all up. If you want to pause it and read it, go ahead. And basically that's how they hedge against their own positions and keep this health factor at 1.2, because what happens when you're borrowing, the price drops too much, you can get liquidated, meaning that you're having full risk exposure when you are borrowing a specific token, okay? And market fluctuation obviously will dictate if ETH price is going up or down. If it's going up, the depth is going to go up, of course. If the price of ETH goes down, your depth goes down. And these positions are constantly being monetarized in order to keep this health factor at 1.2, because if it goes down to 1, it's going to be liquidation happening, and no one wants that. And then if you go further on with the docs, there's further detail on it. If you want to go and check that out, do it. I highly advise you to do so if you're interested in overnight finance. And this sums all up of what's happening with their ETSs. Now let's move on to the OVN token. Regarding OVN, so this is their governance token. At the same time, you can stake it into an insurance vault and earn insurance premiums. So that's another way for you to earn income. You can just choose to hold it and then sell it at a profit. You can stake it into their insurance vaults, and while you do that, you will earn, again, passive yield, passive income paid by these insurance premiums. So that's part of their strategies. A percentage of what their strategies is generated is going to pay out OVN staker. And the same way as you can go into liquidity pools on their money market tokens, you can also use OVN to stake into OVN/USD plus liquidity pools. There's super juicy ones. We just covered that, especially this one here on Beefy and on Aerodrome, but there's others for you to choose from. There's also on PancakeSwap, Velo, so Dyson also. This one on Dyson is even higher APY than compared with the one on Beefy. Plenty of things happening, and that you can benefit with the OVN token. Now let's take a closer look at insurance. Currently they have insurance on 2 chains, but there's OP and ARB currently here. And you can check the whole thing. Like, the risk factor here is high because, well, if something happens, money is going out. Let's say in the case of some strategy on OP does fail, what's going to happen is that they will make up for those losses by selling the OVN tokens in the insurance vault. So that's the risky side of staking with them. At the same time, there's going to be a lock period when you stake into the vaults. If you want to withdraw, you will have to wait 72 hours until your withdrawal is processed, and then from that on, there's 24 hours more after those in which you can still cancel your withdrawal request, but it's not going to be something that you can do automatically and instantly. That it's going to take more than a couple of days, so that's something you should be aware of. The risk factor is high. The last payout for the insurance premium was 51 hours ago. The insurance vault shows you how much OVN is staked there, the value of the vault, insurance coverage, and for the last 30 days the APY. You can see on both chains OP or ARB. This is where the insurance premiums of USD Plus are being um, allocated to in their strategy. So again, plenty of information here and ways for you to earn with the OVN token, their money markets, liquidity pools. This is overnight finance for you guys. Hopefully it wasn't too long of a video, but I want to cover all the things you need to know about the protocol. And if you enjoy this type of content, again, like, subscribe, join the Crypto Explorer community. I'm gonna wrap this one up, guys. Take care. You know how crazy the crypto world can get, and I'll see you on the next one.